Good morning. I feel like the summertime garden has been looking especially pretty lately, so I just wanted to make a quick video this morning. First of all, this is my Miss Molly, I think it's a Miss Molly, sterile Rose of Sharon that I got last year. You can see it's very happy after some aphid drama this spring. That's my first little bud peeking out right there. I'm so excited. But there are plenty more on here. I'm going to be very excited to see this little girl grow and grow and grow. Because we needed something for out in the middle of the lawn. I may, add to this as an actual little flower bed, but it's tough to water when it's all the way over here. So, anyway, you can see in front, I've got my wonderful new pair of hares guarding the front porch and the front door. And I have my two planters that have morning glory and petunias. We planted tons and tons of seeds in there, and then I recently had to pull like 90% out because they were so thick growing with morning glories. So hopefully these do well, thinned out. I've got petunias in the window boxes as well. My hydrangea, which I don't know what to do with this because I think this is the kind where it blooms on old growth, but the old growth always looks so dead every year that I cut it back and then I just get green again, so I really need to learn to just stop touching it. This is some anise hyssop, kind of crowded between the hydrangea. Got hosta, lamb's ear, some vinca along the front, and this is a drift rose, a white drift rose. It doesn't have any blooms on it right now. I just planted this year. And let's see, we've got a couple, that's a bee balm that I planted, and why am I blanking on what that's called? The one right next to the rabbit. I know it, I'm just tired. It's first thing in the morning. Anyway, you've got dead nettle to either side of the front door. So once again, this is how it looks overall on this side. Then, oh my gosh, I'm not remembering the names of anything this morning. I'm so sorry. I'm totally blanking on the name of that one too. But anyway, more hosta, hellebore, lamb's ear, hosta, and my spring iris, my dark iris that blooms in the spring. And then my other flower box. So that's the front, looking nice and healthy. All right, let's move to the side. Okay, so in the side yard, here's the side yard. We've got a sedum. Back there, we've got a classic iris, the classic light purple that is definitely done for the year. And then my butterfly bush. Windows right there, so the cats love looking out at all of the insects using the butterfly bush. And it's just starting to bloom here. We haven't had many visitors so far, but the bloom has just started. And you've got another sedum, my hibiscus, which is getting ready. Hasn't bloomed yet, but it's definitely getting ready. Another sedum, and my hollyhocks, which are definitely ready to cut down. They are done. But, there are still some bees and butterfly, or mostly bees, that are enjoying what flowers are left on there. We'll probably cut those down tomorrow. one more sedum, our air conditioning unit, and then the runner bean is doing really well on the gate this year. Last year I could only get it to grow on one side, but this year it's doing just fine on both sides. Alright, so let's open the gate and go into the backyard. We've got the wildflower garden. That's what I call the area from there to here, which is currently mostly taken up by a ton of calendula. I need to pull some of that and make room for other things, but I'm just leaving it for now. In this corner, you got a new rose bush. You can see what color the rose is on there from the one little bloom. Back there we've got some zinnias working on growing. And a, what is that, swamp mallow or marsh rose? I can't remember what that's called, but I got that from the rescue row in the garden center. And a bee balm there that I cut the flowers off of, and hopefully it'll start blooming again. And we've got a balloon flower right there, and there's all kinds of stuff working on growing up here. Some stuff is blooming, some stuff is still green and growing. You can see there's a little sedum tucked in right there. And way back there, that's my yellow rose. I gotta should probably pull a few things to give a little bit more room, but I pulled it close. I pulled everything away from it the other day, and it seemed like it wasn't too crowded. So yeah, that's another garden task for the list. There's a never-ending list of garden tasks. And then my raspberries are all, you should come over and pick some, whoever's watching this, because apparently I can't eat them now. I had an allergic reaction to them this year, which really stinks. But, you know, they need to be eaten. I don't want to waste them, so we're going to keep picking them, and Tom can still eat them. So we've got some daisies and my oldest rose right here. Oh, sorry, my hand's shaking a little bit. We've got some black-eyed Susans, and there are more black-eyed Susans on this side that just haven't bloomed yet. And then my coneflowers right here, along with more raspberries. So you can see that the goal of this bed is to go raspberries, rose, raspberries, rose. I planted some raspberries back there, and they're buried right now by other flowers, but they seem to be doing pretty well. So, oh no, wait, there they are. That's where I planted the other raspberries. And then rose. So raspberry, rose, raspberry, rose, raspberry, rose. I need to get some taller things on this side. You can see everything down here is nice and tall, and everything here, you can see the fence line still. So, but hopefully as this rose grows, and as the raspberries grow, and as that rose grows, they'll get nice and tall. All right, so we're back down near the coneflowers, and there is the view from the coneflowers area. More raspberries, like I said, and then we start getting into the shade, partial shade and shade portion of my garden. We've got lemon balm. We have so much calendula right here. We've got my red rose back there, and some turtle head. And honestly, in this shade garden, a lot of what I planted, I don't even know the names of it. I just kind of found shade stuff in Rescue Row at Lowe's. So, but I know that's a bleeding heart that I got this year. Oop. Let's take that leaf off of you. Yeah, this is a bleeding heart that I got in Rescue Row, and it really likes where I planted it. It's grown 4 times as big as it was when I planted it in about a month. I planted it about a month ago. There is Admiral Thaddeus Battleship, the rabbit, and some of my hagstones around my hawthorn tree, Lady Hawthorn, who's looking much healthier this year. And then my fern corner. I've got my corner of ferns. And some hostas. These hostas are actually where you're supposed to plant hostas, which is in the shade. The hostas in the front were already there when we moved in, but I really like the way all the different colors and textures look through here. And I got this New Guinean patient just in case this guy didn't like it there, but he is doing wonderfully in the squirrel planter. So I guess the New Guinean patient gets to be nice and comfy in that hanging display right there next to the chair, next to the bench that we use to sit down here. And you can see this is the time of year where last year's, or the canes that grew last year of the blackberry canes have the starts of their berries. But in addition to that, you also have next year's canes starting to grow, and they grow wild and crazy. And until we get some blackberries and then cut back this year's canes, we just let them kind of flop wherever. Sometimes we try and tuck them away here and there, but we need them for next year. So we got to be patient with things looking a little bit unkempt for a moment, a little bit wild. Nothing wrong with wild, right? All right, so there's how this area looks overall. Yes, we do have a neighbor with a giant flag on the front of his house. And my basket on the gate looks really healthy. Very happy with that too. All right, then we've got the clematis flower bed. This is a kind of bleeding heart it's an alpine bleeding heart that actually likes the sun. This is another Rescue Row plant, and it seems to be really happy here. This is a violet. Let's just take care of that. And that's some grass, so let's take care of that. Weeding's never done. Anyway, but you can see it's got all kinds of flowers on it, but I really love the foliage on this girl too. Isn't that pretty? Very, very soft and pretty, and I really like it, and I hope she keeps growing. And then we've got some white coneflowers and some peach-colored coneflowers that I got. The peach-colored ones were a Rescue Row, and the white-colored ones were not. I actually paid for those. And then we've got just some classic black-eyed Susans, and some black-eyed Susans right there. So we've got some nice drought-tolerant plants in through here, along with my clematis, which had its main show in the spring. And then we've got my butterfly bushes Sadly, we cut them too short in the spring. So this one only has one stem and it's really not doing too well. So I think I'm gonna have to get another one. Unfortunately, I know there's growth on it, but it's really not good, and I don't know if it's going to be enough growth to let it survive till next year over winter. So I think I need to get another new one. This one did great from last year. You can see the beautiful color of the blooms on there. Oh, this is the one that's Miss Molly. This is a Miss Molly butterfly bush. The one in the front must be a different name, the Rose of Sharon. Anyway, and this is a new one that I bought this year because, like I said, we cut them too short, unfortunately. But once I get the other replacement, you know, you've got 3 butterfly bushes along the fence line, which is nice. And then back by the deck that we still need to stain and paint, we're gonna stain all of the horizontal surfaces in a wood stain, and then all of the rails are gonna be white to match the house. Anyway, we have a peppermint hydrangea. We've got a rose, and we have some love in a mist that has gone to seed, and I've got a pretty decent sized list of friends who want seeds this year from my love in a mist. So I'm letting it just dry out and go to seed. Plus the seed heads are so pretty. That's one thing I love about love in a mist, is that even after you're done with the blooms, the seed heads look really pretty. They flop, they look really wild, but they're really pretty. And then at the bottom of the deck, you've got a couple of planters, including my rescue snapdragon that seems happy. More love in a mist. This was volunteer plantings. Believe me, once you plant love in a mist, you'll never be without it again, which I don't mind, but this just started growing here and I was like, why not? We'll just let it. So, and on the back patio, we've got a couple of planters, including this zinnia, which seems to be doing pretty well. My lilac. My daylilies, including these red ones. I don't know what happened here. Maybe something was eating at it, I'm not sure, but then my chimes, and this is my absolute favorite daylily we have. It was here when we got here, but looking online, I think it looks the most like a variety called Egyptian Queen. But isn't it beautiful? Peach and a deep burgundy color. So yeah, there you have my backyard. I'm gonna spin you around ever so slowly to show you everything. And a view from the back deck. Sometimes I feel like I can never keep up with everything that needs to be done in the garden. But isn't that part of the adventure? Thank you for watching.